Welcome to my Star Wars Outlaws hands-on preview. Very excited about this because Ubisoft gave me a remote play hands-on for 4 hours, basically unlimited access to certain areas and planets and in space as well. So today I'm going to be diving deep into my impressions, and finally I actually know what this game is looking to offer, and I want to help you guys know what to expect to see if this is a game for you. This is a awesome opportunity, so I'd like to thank Ubisoft for partnering with me. Just know that all of my views, opinions are my own. They have basically just gave me access and said share your expressions and go from there. The only thing that I will say is that I can't show certain menus and certain story spoiler cutscenes and things like that. So we're going to make sure we take it easy with that. Other than that, we're going to dive as deep as possible. This is actually going to be a multi-series videos because I have too much content to put into one video, and we're going to go all the way through all of it. Before I get into anything else, I love my community, love you guys. It's been a fun ride. I do have multiple giveaways. They're going to be in the comments, and we're going to be giving away full codes for video games, so you have a chance to win. Go check that out. Make sure you share this video so that we can get this out. More people, we can grow and do more giveaways as we do. Now, without further ado, we're going to dive into the gameplay, and I just want to say off bat, this game is amazing. And if you don't know what Star Wars Outlaws is, it's basically a criminal underworld game set in Star Wars. It's an open world game, third person shooter, and you can play some stealth areas, but you can also go action packed. I'm going to do a lot of action packed in the footage you're about to watch, but when I play on my own hands, I'm going to be stealthing through the whole thing. If you guys know how I play, I was on keyboard and mouse, so I couldn't play the way I normally will, and I actually really don't play keyboard and mouse at all. So this is kind of learning keyboard and mouse while I play the game, which I'm so excited to showcase. So just to kind of set the mood and start off with what was happening here, I'm invading the beautiful base of one of the factions, and we basically want to sneak if we really wanted to, but since I got caught, I said, hey, let's just go guns blazing. There are missions actually that allow you to only do stealth, and if you get caught, you have to reset. There was one mission that I played like that, but then I played this mission where I'm just invading their base. I had to sneak my way in, and then you're watching some of my keyboard and mouse shooting, which I got to work on. And basically, this turned into an action-packed situation. Now, you could have played this stealthily and not gotten caught. And the reason why this is important is because there's a very cool mechanic where you're building your reputation with these different syndicates. There's different factions that are very important to the story, but also to you. There's a great rewards, which I'm going to get into all of this, guys. I'm going to have you really deep down covered with all of my different details. I promise. Just give me time throughout this series that I'm going to be breaking things down. But I wanted to start off just with this gameplay here. Let you see some of the raw gameplay. Let you see what it's offering, and also discuss what I was feeling in this game. So I never felt like I was handicapped, as we talked about in one of my previews breakdowns about the overview, that she only has her blaster as her primary weapon, but it does have different modes. Her blaster alone is super powerful. On top of that, you have this ability to continuously pick up weapons from enemies, and they drop a bunch. And then on top of that, the levels seem to have knowing like, hey, he's gonna probably need a gun for this area, and just have one laying around a couple of times in different areas. So this already made me feel like, okay, when I'm infiltrating these bases and I'm in these scenarios, I'm not going to be handicapped, and I'm going to be capable of handling myself if it gets into a fight. But I do want to kind of discuss something that people probably don't know, and that the factions are super critical. I'm going to have a video dedicated to them, but basically, this changed the way this game played. This is a typical invade someone's base, right? Go stealthily or go action packed. and it felt really good, and it was fun. It was exciting. It was awesome, to be honest with you, and I loved it without a shadow of doubt. But I can say, that I also felt like the factions really made a big difference. And I do have a video, I'm going to break that down in detail, but there was faction rewards that I can't showcase because they're menu and they're something that Ubisoft wanted to save for the players. But man, Crimson Dawn has some stealth things. You have Hut, who has some tanky things where if you pick up this gear or this charm, and you're gonna be able to enhance the way you play, basically the RPG elements of putting on a piece of gear to enhance something different of you. That made me excited to want to work with a specific faction. And I actually was playing and ended up basically ruining my relationship because I had to frame one person or the other. It was fun, it was interesting, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna ruin my relationship with these guys because I'm on a mission for this team. And it just was such a cool dynamic. And it made me say, this is what the game is. And this is what I want to kind of stress to everybody that's watching right now and wondering what I felt. I felt like we're missing out on what this game is offering. When you think of Han Solo, the scoundrel underworld, the criminal underworld to be exact, you think of scenarios, negotiations, slick moves, and kind of playing games and doing all of these different things. And that's what you're getting with a system that rewards you for it. So the better relationship you have, each tier will give you better rewards. And I don't think anybody's really talked about this much. So that's why I'm stressing it and giving you face cameras on, by the way, because I feel it's essential to discuss how important that is going to be in the overall experience for this game when you play it, because now you're tied into, I need to get this build, I want to play this way, let me work with this faction, while someone else like me, I'm going to be stealthing, pretty much love stealth games, and that is my focus. So that is kind of where I started to feel the game was shining in a special way that I haven't seen from many people discussing it and trying to explain what exactly is offering. And so for me, that was very cool. And I love that. And I think you guys should also look into what you need to do and kind of getting back into this mission. I cleared the area by being action oriented. I activated these terminals, and basically I'm going to be getting in to this base and doing what I have to do inside. And now inside, there's this thing which, oh my goodness, where I'm hacking certain things that are very let's just say not so easy. For some people it's a rhythm based unlocking doors, and then there's the hacking the terminals where you have to punch in codes, which is interesting. And then they have this right here, which is basically climbing, and you're playing the Uncharted style of this very short segments. They weren't very long segments, whether it's in the beginning or during the mission where you're doing these things and you have to escape. And one thing that was cool was the music. I really felt really good. I had the Metal Gear vibe when I was going through these events. And I said, oh man, this game is hitting all the spots for me specifically because I do love stealth. I love Metal Gear, my favorite series of all time. And I thought, okay, they're taking inspiration from everything and everyone. And honestly, guys, I am on keyboard and mouse, so my gameplay is pretty embarrassing compared to what I really do. If you ever watch me play Assassin's Creed, Metal Gear, any stealth game, I'm pretty much very good. And in here, spoiler alert, I do get caught. But it's because I'm trying to learn keyboard and mouse and what buttons to press and how to maneuver a little better. I was not so good. As you can tell, I crouched a lot here. I didn't even panicking trying to shoot and learn the keyboard as I played. But it was pretty fun to kind of go through this situation here where I'm just trying to escape their base and hopefully survive, live to see another day. And this was very good overall. When I talk about gameplay, and I want to get into some of how it felt, was It felt very fluid. You're gonna pick it up and know what it's like. This is not some like, oh, this game's mechanics are weird or anything like that. It's pretty straightforward. You know what to do. You're gonna stealth. You're gonna take them down. You can distract them with nicks. You can do a lot of cool things that we've seen from all the trailers and all the breakdowns that they have. I am also going to be doing some breakdowns on this stuff when I tested it a little later in a different video. But those mechanics are very well crafted, and the levels are well crafted as well, where I feel very fluid going through certain areas, entering, escaping. All of that felt very nice, in my opinion, and I definitely loved what I saw from the game when it comes to that aspect. And of course, there's a lot more to talk about when we'll get into some of the key things as we go. Definitely cool. I just wanted to showcase some of the mechanics that you're watching, and this is me just escaping the base, kind of getting back to normal and making it happen. One thing I want to talk about when it comes to the open world that I found pretty interesting was that the Empire is kind of their own entity, and you're basically out in the world, and they're basically like the police. So you want to be careful what you do or don't do, and you can get caught up in bad situations, or you can end up doing great things and enjoying that run. So for me, this is where I take a moment and discuss my overall impressions and give you what I really felt. Just show the pieces of a mission because I really felt like just needed you to see more or less what's there. But I am going to be showing deeper dives into faction things. We're going to dive into the open world and get into that. But here's my thoughts. When I started playing, I didn't realize how much of a Star Wars fanboy I was until I got into, let's just say, a specific area, and I looked around. I tried to find, some cameos or Easter eggs, and I just literally nonstop just looked around for the first 30 minutes of playing. And the person handling it's like, yeah, the mission's over here. They weren't like forcing me. They said, you can do what you want. Just want to make sure I help you out. They were very helpful, by the way. But I really felt like, wow, like I didn't realize how much this game could do just by giving you the freedom, right? When you're on your speeder, you can go anywhere. When you're walking around, there's scenarios and conversations you can eavesdrop and get new side missions from. There's very cool things like that. That there's actually experts where you can bump into an expert by doing something, let's say gambling or whatever factors that there is, and then you build your specific character. So there's no skill tree. You're gonna build it through these experts, and they're gonna have amazing stuff like smoke bombs and so much more. I got a long list and a video breaking the experts down, waiting for you guys coming up. But that was exciting because you have Lando. Spoiler alert: if you haven't watched the trailers, he's one of the experts, and there's a bunch of other people in the experts that I felt like, okay, this is exciting, this is interesting, this is definitely a Star Wars experience, and I want to take a little step back and discuss something that people talk to me about, why would this game need to be made? Guess what? This is how I feel. Like, I would love a company to try and make a Mandalorian game. I would love them to make a Yoda game of when he was young. I have a lot of list of favorite Star Wars characters that I would love to see a game created by some company, specifically big, great companies like Massive Entertainment, who's given me my favorite looter shooter, which is The Division. And they're basically capable of open world environments. And I only got two main areas to explore, but from that, I'm already excited to get deeper into this game because it's like, wow, Star Wars is super cool. I'm very excited about what they're doing. And it's interesting. So this whole idea of like why make this game? Guess what? Nobody's ever explored in detail in a video game the criminal underworld of Star Wars. So this is an Outlaws game with a Star Wars story. So you're automatically getting two great things. If you like the criminal underworld aspect and doing all these, shady things, that'll be great. For me, what I loved was that the factions allow you to build relationships. It's very fluid. You don't have to stick with one or the other. And as a matter of fact, during missions, you can betray one or the other. And even at the end, they gave you choices where you can basically keep something rather than give it to the person you were supposed to, and making it more exciting and interesting. In my opinion, that's something that I loved. I found super cool. And so those are the type of things that really, really helped take this game to the next level for me. And I actually really felt really good about what's coming overall once I get my hands on it and fully play this game. Now, I did want to kind of touch on a couple of key things and show you guys just me exploring while I discuss it. First and foremost, I do think that this game is going to have mixed reviews because for some reason people think that every game has to be pioneered, brand new mechanics that never seen before. And I don't agree. 99% of every game doesn't do anything new. They just take all the cool stuff and they make something out of it. This game does have something new in the sense that you're going to the criminal underworld of Star Wars in an open world game where you're dealing with relationships with factions where you can build or break the relationship, and it's a very fluid experience, and I think that is awesome. But I can say that in the end of the day, this is all about a true well put together game. Solid 8 from what I've experienced. If it stays this way and it has this type of story and experience, 25 to 30 hours for the story, and then another total of 40 supposedly for a completionist, is what they said. So I'm interested to see what and how that works. And I definitely cannot wait to get my hands on it. The time comes. And I would assume you guys would too. And that's kind of where my take is for this hands-on preview. Again, I got 4 hours, so I have way more footage and more discussions. We talking about the factions, we're talking about the open world. I want to talk about some of the story, and then just give you guys every little detail that I know throughout this series of videos. So that should be popping up on your screen right now. Go check that out. For everybody else, if you want to jump on them giveaways, go to the comments. Good luck to you guys. Thank y'all so much for watching. See you on the next one. Peace.